Um, okay, let's talk about the Ukraine war today, and we'll try to catch up with some of the latest news of the Ukraine war. So, just getting ready. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's get ready with the Ukraine updates. Okay, hold on. Hello, hello. Hold on, guys. It's early morning, and I'm just trying to get this live on. Hello, guys. So, what's up? I've been away for quite some time and I haven't done a lot of lives in the past few days. So, let me just catch up with um, some of the news and the latest news that we have, apart from Donald Trump becoming US president, the 47th US president right now. Latest news we have is Ukraine enters its 1000th day, which means the Ukraine war is now more than 1000 days. It's actually today the 1001th day. So let's see what news we have. So we know that Ukraine war has been going on for a very, very long time. It started on in February 2022 and we are almost over with 2024 and the war is still on with no hopes of the war ending anytime soon. People say Trump's election could actually be a boon for the Ukraine war, but uh, that will also take time. I think even if the Trump administration decides to intervene in the Ukraine war, it will still take time. It is not going to end anytime soon. Let's see how things are unfolding right now in Ukraine and what are the consequences that is happening, not just with people but with the economies of both the countries. Vladimir Putin had said that it is only Ukraine that has been affected with the Ukraine war, but that's not true because Russia has been equally affected by the Ukraine war. Yes, Russia has also been affected by the Ukraine war, and no matter what Putin says that Russia's economy is still going strong, we know for a fact that Russia's economy has gone down into the doldrums. So as the war enters the 1001 day today, yesterday was its 1000th day. Can you imagine a war being waged for more than 2 years? More than 2 years. In Feb, it will be 3 years. Feb of 2025. And like everyone else, I also have not witnessed any war this long. So I guess this is something that all of us are experiencing together, and we all want the war to end at this point of time, right? So let's take a look at what has happened in the past few days. I haven't given out a lot of updates to you in the past few days, and let's just take a look at what has happened and what are the crucial events that have taken place during its 1000th day. So now Zelensky has said, push Russia harder. Zelensky has urged its allies to push Russia harder. So, Ukraine's President Zelensky has urged Europe to push Russia harder in a speech marking 1,000 days since Vladimir Putin launched a full scale invasion of the country. The more time he has, the worse the condition becomes, he told a special session of the European Parliament on Tuesday. Zelensky spoke amid speculation that Ukraine had for the first time used the US supplied ATACMS long range missile system to hit a target deep inside Russia a day after Washington signaled its permission. So, on its 1000th day, Ukraine made a very important move when it started using the ATACMS long range missile and hit a spot deep inside Russia. We'll talk about it in a minute, in a moment, but let's see what have happened during that time. And this event comes just a day after Washington gave its permission. So Donald Trump signed the he gave the permission, he signed all the documents and gave the permission, and just a day after permission was given, Russia was hit. And where did Russia strike? Hold on. So, Russia has been struck on the 1000th day by Ukraine, and it's an ammunition warehouse where Ukraine actually fired missiles in the region of Bryansk, about 100 kilometers from the border. So, this region is about 1000 kilometers away from the border, and sorry, it's not 1000, it's 100 kilometers from the border, and the region is called Bryansk. And this region of Bryansk has actually been attacked earlier also. If you have watched my earlier videos, you would know that this area of Bryansk has been attacked time and again. So let's see, just hold on, I will just so we can see that Ukraine is now using more of strategic ammunition, expensive ammunition that they are now getting from the other countries. Ukraine has used it earlier, but now they are using even better. And this was something that Russia had not expected at all. So you can very much imagine what was Russia's take on this, because they did not know that they are going to be attacked. And this area of Bryansk, if you remember, has been attacked earlier also. So, yeah, it has been attacked earlier, and many people at one point of time were killed in this area actually, when Ukraine had attacked at least once or twice in 2024, as far as I can remember, and at least once last year also. So we know for a fact that it has been attacked a number of times. This time Russia was completely unaware of Ukraine's move as they were attacked. So this time Russia was hit badly by Ukraine, and Ukraine has hit. What did I? Okay. Ukraine has hit the ammunition warehouse. But Kyiv often uses domestic drones to hit targets inside Russia, and there was no immediate evidence that US missiles were used. Russia says that US has helped Ukraine in firing such missiles, but Ukraine and US have denied. US has denied that they have not helped Ukraine in this attack. Second piece of news: Putin approves changes to Russia's nuclear doctrine. Addressing members of the European Parliament on Tuesday morning, 1,000 days since the invasion began on 24th Feb 2022, Zelensky warned that Putin would not stop on his own and urged that Russia be pushed towards a just peace. He said that the deployment of North Korean troops was a clear sign that Moscow was determined to escalate the conflict. While some European leaders think about some elections or something like that, at Ukraine's expense, Putin is focused on winning the war. So everyone wants the war to end, but somehow Putin is not taking this very kindly. He is adamant on continuing with the war. Okay, next. Russia vows tangible response if US missiles used against its territory. Earlier, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer reiterated his country's ironclad support for Ukraine amid speculation he could give Kyiv permission to use British supplied Storm Shadow missiles to hit targets deep inside the Russian territory. So now Russia has, in a way, threatened Ukraine that they will take solid action, and they have said that they are not going to spare, they're not going to spare, yes, they're not going to spare USA, because they have proved that USA is now supplying all the arms and ammunition, and it is just not now that USA is uh, supplying all such ammunition. They have been supplying this before also, right? And not just USA, the allies, especially Germany, Britain, have helped in supplying weapons to them. Okay, so Russia gains acceleration as Ukraine's Kursk gamble falters. The Russian military is accelerating its gains along the front line in Ukraine at a crucial time for the conflict. Data from the Institute for the Study of War shows that Russia has gained almost 6 times as much territory in 2024 as it did in 2023, and it's advancing towards key Ukrainian logistical hubs in the eastern Donbass region. Meanwhile, Ukraine's surprise incursion into Russia's Kursk region is faltering. Russian troops have paused Kyiv's offensive backwards. Experts have questioned the success of the offensive, with one calling it a strategic catastrophe given manpower shortages faced by Ukraine. So, this year, Russia has actually gained more land on more land uh, on Ukraine than last year. It's almost 6 times than what they had gained over last year. Now let's see some other news apart from this. Let's take a look at some other news articles, but before that, let me get a sip of my tea. Another important piece of information, another important piece of news. Hong Kong mogul Jimmy Lai testifies in controversial trial. Jimmy Lai, one of Hong Kong's most influential pro-democracy figures, is taking the stand on Wednesday in a national security trial that may see him sentenced to life imprisonment. The 76-year-old founder of the now defunct Hong Kong tabloid Apple Daily is accused of colluding with foreign forces by using his media platform to oppose the government. Sorry, it's a bit cold this year in Mumbai. This time of the year, it's actually a bit cold in Mumbai. It used to be quite even, it used to be quite warm uh, during the year end, but climate change and so many thousands of trees have been cut down in Maharashtra. So now the weather is moving towards a bad state. That's what we can say. The 76-year-old founder is accused of colluding with foreign forces by using his media platform to oppose the government. This is the first time he is testifying in court, even though he has undergone multiple trials since 2020, all widely seen as politically motivated among Beijing's tightening grip over the city. Lai said on Wednesday that Apple Daily represented Hong Kong's values, including freedom, pursuit of democracy. So this is another important news from Hong Kong, Asia. This is one of the very important newses we have right now. Let's move on to China. Some news from China. Okay, let's see what we have for a Chinese news. The Ukraine war is all over the internet sites. Mm. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's get on to some news from China. There are so many things happening in China. Let's just take a look. China's Shipeng says no impact from US curbs on its turning on its Turing AI chip output. Let me read it once again. China's Xpeng says no impact from US curbs on its Turing AI chip output. Chinese electric vehicle maker Xpeng said mass production of its Turing self-designed artificial intelligence chip was progressing well, dismissing concerns it could be hit by new US curbs on advanced semiconductors for Chinese firms. Xi Jinping asks Germany's Scholz to help resolve issues of EU tariffs on Chinese EVs. Chinese President Xi Jinping told German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Tuesday he hoped Germany could help the EU and China to resolve the issue of tariffs on Chinese EVs as soon as possible. In talks on the sidelines of the Group of 20 summit in in Rio de Janeiro, Xi Jinping said China was ready to work with Germany to consolidate an overall strategic partnership before raising the issue of EU tariffs on Chinese made EVs, which has increased the prospects of a trade war between Beijing and the bloc. China is also facing a slump in semiconductor supplies, which has affected its production of EVs adversely for the past 5 years. Semiconductor production has gone down, as a result of which the industry has seen a slump. In the past few months, there have been hopes of 2025 being a recovery year, but so far, statistics prove that the output of the products that are being used by semiconductors, the products that use the semiconductors might not be as good as expected. However, China is doing its best to gain ground on this and is now taking elephant steps to gain control on the market. And this is a major move to give a boost to the EV sector. Alibaba raises $5 billion in dual currency bond deal. Alibaba has now raised $5 billion in a dual currency bond, China's biggest e-commerce company, on Wednesday, marking the largest deal of its kind in the Asia Pacific this year. The company priced an offering of aggregate principal amount of 2.65 billion in US dollar denominated notes and 17 billion yuan, that is Chinese currency, worth of offshore yuan denominated bonds. That's another piece of news. China leaves lending benchmark LPRs unchanged as expected. China left benchmark lending rates unchanged at the monthly fixing on Wednesday after lenders slashed the rates by higher than expected margins last month to revive economic activity. Pro-democracy tycoon Lai denies lobbying US policy on China and Hong Kong in landmark trial. Hong Kong Democrat Jimmy Lai testified for the first time in his landmark national security trial, saying he had never tried to influence the foreign policy of other countries such as the US towards China and Hong Kong. China Fund cuts ETF fees, escalating price war in booming market. Major Chinese fund companies announced a reduction in fees for a batch of equity exchange traded funds, intensifying price competition in the rapidly expanding 400 billion sector of the market. Move to cut management and custodian fees came a day after Wu King, China's chief securities regulator, pledged to encourage index investment and fund industry fee reform. Okay, this is another piece of important news. Just hold on. China's Xi Jinping visits Brasilia to cap tour, flexing diplomatic clout. China's Xi Jinping visits Brasilia to cap tour, flexing diplomatic clout. Chinese President Xi Jinping's state visit to Brasilia on Wednesday caps a diplomatic blitz across South America that has shown Beijing's growing clout in the region and at global forums where it filled a gap left by the US presidential transaction. Xi and Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva are expected to sign agreements boosting trade and cooperation across sectors from agribusiness to energy and aerospace during morning meetings at the presidential residence in Brasilia. Jailing of 45 Hong Kong Democrats in national security trial draws criticism. Hong Kong's High Court on Tuesday jailed 45 pro-democracy activists for up to 10 years following a national security trial that has damaged the city's one feisty democratic movement and drawn criticism from the US and other countries. A total of 47 pro-democracy activists were arrested and charged in 2021 with conspiracy to commit subversion under a Beijing imposed national security law which carried sentences of up to life in prison. Okay, let's move on to Japan. Before that, let's also see some other important news. Let's see what's Donald Trump up to. Another important news coming in. Donald Trump joins Elon Musk as SpaceX launches Super Heavy Starship rocket from Texas. Elon Musk's SpaceX launched its sixth Starship test flight to space on November 19th from Texas, eyeing an array of improvements on the rocket as US President elect Donald Trump watched in person. Okay, hold on just for a while, we'll have some more news. So Trump is all over the place as he is the new president elect. US President elect Donald Trump names Howard Lutnick as Commerce Secretary. In a statement, Trump said that Lutnick will also lead the country's tariff and trade agenda with additional direct responsibility for the Office of the United States Trade Representative. What else do we have? Let's take a look at. Okay. Who is Sean Duffy? Donald Trump nominates Sean Duffy as Transportation Security. So, President-elect Donald Trump has nominated former Rep. Sean Duffy as Transportation Secretary. Duffy is also a former reality TV star and Fox News host. We take a look at the profile. So, who is Duffy? Duffy is the second Fox affiliated television host to be named to a cabinet position in Trump's new White House after Fox News host Pete Hegseth was last week nominated as Defense Secretary. So first it was Pete Hegseth who was nominated as the Defense Secretary. He is also from Fox News. Now it's Sean Duffy who is who has been named as the Transportation Secretary. So far 2 people from Fox News has been elected by Donald Trump or have been inducted by Donald Trump into his cabinet, into his ministry. It remains to be seen. It's becoming very it's a very curious or mysterious situation, and we need to see how many more people from the Fox News channel will be nominated or would be brought into Trump's cabinet. There are 2 people now, and we might see some more joining the cabinet soon. Let's just wait and see. First it was Pete Hegseth, and now it is Sean Duffy. That's quite interesting. The lineup for cabinet ministers in Trump's administrative, in Donald Trump's cabinet is actually becoming quite interesting because he is electing people who do not have much experience in the field of politics, nor have they held any important portfolio anywhere. So these are people who have been with the with the politicians for a very brief time, or have not been into politics at all, like Pete Hegseth and Sean Duffy. So we might see some more people being brought in. That's quite an interesting thing Donald Trump has done. Looks like that. Okay. That will be all for now. I'll join in with you after some time. Let's see how things take place from here. Thank you.